Hi, I'm Sheree Krim, candidate for Panama City Beach, City Council, Ward 4. I'm running because I love our city. I have the experience and dedication to make a difference here. I believe our government should listen to and work for its people. I will be focusing on our community, our environment, and I will always be an advocate for transparency. On April 21st, vote for me, Sheree. My name is Sheree Krim, candidate for Panama City Beach, City Council, Ward 4. I approve this advertisement.
Well, hello. Good evening. It is Monday. Holy moly, we are in November, and boy, has it been fast. September, October, and now we're here in November. And so randomly, I was cleaning out my car this weekend, and I found my door hanger, which is kind of a funny story, right? Because we couldn't actually go door to door to put door hangers because nobody wanted us near their house. Because at that point, we didn't know if touching things actually, it's kind of crazy. But why I ran for city council and why I keep doing what is going on today, and I thank you guys for all of your questions and all of your calls, because I do it because I realize there's a need for leadership, kindness, and forward thinking here in Bay County. And at the time it was on the beach, but I love our beautiful community and I want to support our growth and be on the team for positive changes. And my platform was built on the belief, my platform still is on the belief that government is for the people and therefore should listen to its people. And I believe there needs to be transparency in government, protection for environment, and community involvement. You see, I spent 15 years working at a Fortune 10 company, and the last position I was in was director of operations. But I saved them billions of dollars, hundreds of millions that when you analyze them and you keep adding them up, it's in the billions at this point. And so processes, finding these things, this is what I do a really good job at. And I really know and can see some things here that if you have been here all your life, it's hard to see if you haven't been somewhere else. So I know people want to think that might be something where they want me to leave because I can see things differently, leave because I want to help Bay County become better. But I know that we can become better. And I know I just started to share this, but the patriarchy isn't going to smash itself. And that is the shirt I'm actually wearing today because it's important for us to know, what's going on and that, it's not going to smash itself. And we also have to make sure that we keep our elected officials accountable. So happy Monday. All righty. We have tonight lots of things to talk about. But number one, I want to talk about an awesome thing I went to last week. It was over in Okaloosa County, and it was actually the status on women. And Okaloosa County talked about human trafficking. And that right there was the reason why I went over. Some of you may be aware or maybe not be aware. I am on the Circuit 14 Human Trafficking Task Force. And being part of that means education, going out with the community, those type of things. We've talked about, bike rallies along those type of things. But the main thing that I got when I was over there is that they don't even realize one of their elected officials is under suspicion of human trafficking. They didn't understand Matt Gaetz. So randomly, Rebecca Jones was there, who's running against Matt Gaetz, and literally talking there, and she was talking about something. I said, well, of course, nobody in this room likes human traffickers like Matt Gaetz. And we'll see what happens. It is, what is going on, and we have to pay attention that this is happening with elected officials. Just like Bay County, we have corruption all over here in the Panhandle, and it's important that we're out here paying attention to these things. So back to human trafficking. So here in Northwest Florida, right, Escambia County over here into this area, we are number one in the state of Florida. That kind of blew people's minds. But it was really nice having people there talking about it, having the discussion, and really understanding that at this point, we have some changes we've got to make. And I really like their county commissioner because she is going to be, they have a whole proclamation, which we're going to do again this year here. She has a whole proclamation that then you might want to turn into an ordinance and make it so any public restroom actually has to have the human trafficking phone number. Imagine if that was the case. Lots of great things would happen. So that happened on Friday. It was very interesting. Other things came out of that. So we will see what happens. I don't know why we don't have our own status for women here in our county. Okaloosa is one of only a few. So yeah, I think a Bay County status on women, that would be really interesting. How many elected positions in Bay County has a woman never served in? How about how many elected positions in Bay County has a person who's not white served in? These are fun questions. And we're going to have that status one of these days. Just you wait. All right. I know that Republicans and Democrats fundamentally have issues. But week after week after week, watching my congressmen just regurgitate, well, not always the truth, it really bothers me. And I mean, it should bother you as well. Neil Dunn does a great job. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to bring Neil Dunn on, and we are going to listen to the wonderful video this week that Neil Dunn has put out. So let's go. I love Facebook. Thank you, Neil Dunn, for constantly sharing on Facebook. All right, here we go.
This week was a wake-up call for Washington. Virginians rejected the Democrats' socialist agenda and costly programs and elected Glenn Youngkin as governor. So what does this mean for 2022? It means that Americans are focused on the success and stability of their family's future. They don't want aggressive vaccine mandates. They don't want higher cost of living. They don't want to lower their expectations. But Democrats aren't listening. In fact, now they're doubling down on their radical agenda to remake America into an imaginary socialist utopia. But my Republican colleagues and I are listening, and we're committed to solving the day-to-day challenges facing all Americans. Hopefully, Tuesday's results foreshadow what's to come in 2022. I'm Neil Dunn, your doctor on the Hill.
Well, the Virginia results have Democrats reeling. The other side ran on an issue that doesn't even exist, and they still won. I don't know why anybody's surprised by that part.
All right,
I mean,
so
these are the same people that still walk in.
I'm going to make that go away. So thank you, Neil Dunn. I think the words that he used was imaginary socialist utopia. So what is this imaginary socialist utopia? So it's kind of funny. I love how things just pop up. So I was going through things today. So let's talk about what socialism really is. There's multiple types of socialism, okay? Socialism on its own is the government owns most of the major industries. This is not what any Democrat wants. I don't think any of us want our government to own everything. Number two, corporate socialism. The government mostly benefits wealthy corporations. Most major industries are privately owned. That's the capitalism, but still receive massive handouts, bailouts, and other expenses at the expense of the taxpayer. It is driven by corporations' ability to influence the laws with large amount of money that results in legislation that favors their ability to make even larger amounts of money. And don't tell me that that's not true, because we know we are in corporate socialism right now. In this system, the wealthy become more wealthy at the expense of the lower class, and the system is essentially a plurocracy ruled by the wealthy. And we are at the largest income inequality gap, and I'm sorry, I moved the computer, in 100 years. And we keep giving these handouts to corporations so they'll create jobs so they can pay their higher up CEOs 300 times what a normal worker makes. This is ridiculous, and it's greed. And I cover it in my book because this is the type of stuff that we have been taught is normal. So if I lose connection, I apologize. I'm not sure why my little Wi-Fi thing popped up. So why I'm out there doing this. So lastly is democratic socialism, which is the government mostly benefits the citizens. Most major industries are privately owned, but they have to stand on their own without government handouts. The tax burden previously funneled to the wealthy corporations is used to improve the lives of the citizen instead. This enables the government to help fund improvements to public services such as police, firemen, libraries, roads, and interstates, education, and healthcare. The system is driven by people working together and lifting each other up. In this system, the middle class thrives and poverty decreases. And this system is more democratic, ruled by the people, than our current system. So here's the thing. Do we want wealthy individuals and wealthy companies to pay their fair share of taxes? That is the only question there is. And if we say yes, which I believe, I want to say the last poll was like 80% of the United States wants people who make more money and corporations to pay taxes, then why are we fighting over this? And why are we not taxing them the way that we could? Because somehow we think all these jobs are going to disappear. Now, yes, some jobs are going to disappear if companies have to start paying taxes, but that should tell you something right there, because they're not running a really good business. You should be able to adapt. I say this, these big companies have gotten away with this for so long. I don't know. Can they adapt? I know what they could do. They could launch the business case for kindness, but that's a whole nother issue that we're not going to talk about. So, Neil Dunn, thank you. Imaginary socialist utopia, because we want democratic socialism and we want the middle class to thrive. Well, thank you, Neil Dunn. I so appreciate you. It's always fun to see what type of words are going to come out there. So, also, awesomely enough, we have there was a special session announcement today, because that is going to start next week over in Tallahassee. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to share. Somebody's already put up, it right on the press release. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up the press release. All right. So you guys can see here, Tallahassee, Florida Senate. Keep Florida free legislative agenda. It's going to be a special session B starting on Monday. A couple people put in their information. So the key here is SB 2B, HB 1B, reject COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Creates options. Sponsored by Senator Danny Burgess and Representatives Aaron Grawl and Ralph Mazzola. The comprehensive legislative protects students, parents, employees, and employers in our state by creating a framework for employees to make the best decision for their health and affirming the rights of parents to make healthcare decisions for their children. It creates options for private sector employers' employees. Specifically, the legislation prohibits employers from having a COVID-19 vaccination mandate for employees without providing at least the 5 following individual exemptions. Medical reasons as determined by a physician, advanced practical nurse. Medical reasons include pregnancy or expectation of pregnancy. Religious reasons based on sincerely held belief. Immunity based on prior COVID-19 infection as documented by a lab test. Periodic testing, agreeing to comply with regular testing at no cost to the employee. Or personal protective equipment, agreeing to comply with the use of employee-provided PPE. I thought we didn't like PPE, right? No masks, right? Prohibits vaccine mandates for government and education employees. The legislation builds on provisions passed earlier this year by affirming that no public education institution or government entity may require COVID-19 vaccination as a condition of employment. Well, that's a problem since that's coming from above. Protects parents as a sole decision maker for their children. Enforces measures with fines and parent cause of action, how they can apply for a fine. protect private healthcare and religious information. So treating public records exemptions for certain amounts of information, such as personal medical information or information regarding the employee's religious beliefs contained in files created during an investigation of an employer that refuses to provide the individual exemptions or terminates employee based on COVID-19 vaccination status, and begin with withdrawing from OSHA. And assert state jurisdiction over occupational safety and health concerns, and remove authority of state health officer to order vaccinations. Wow. The legislation repeals provisions of existing law which may have never been used that could have allowed the state health officer to force vaccinations to Floridians. Wow. We want to leave OSHA. There's a reason for OSHA, and it is something that, there's a reason for OSHA. And we do want to separate and be our own place. Why did OSHA happen? That's a really good question that you can go research, because there's a really good reason we have an OSHA. So, all right. So that special session that starts next week, there's going to be so much drama next week over in Tallahassee. There are going to be press conferences. There's already rallies. Speaking of rallies and speaking of things like that, it's very interesting when you have somebody who literally, so on Friday, and I'm trying to find the picture if I can pull it up and share it. But entire screen, yes, a window. I'm not going there. So on Friday, at the Chamber of Commerce event, Tho Bishop, who is the vice president of the Republican Party, came into the Chamber of Commerce meeting. He, at that point, decided to leave flyers for their Rally for Freedom that was happening on Sunday. So I want to be clear. The Bay County Republican Party is not a member of the chamber, nor did they have any right to be there sending out or passing out this information or leaving it on tables. So I sent a note over to Carol Roberts, because she is the head of the chamber, and she absolutely told me it was inappropriate. So what are they going to do about it? Why is it that they want to come out and do things inappropriately? And it just blew my mind. I knew something was up when I saw him walking around in the DeSantis hat, and I knew I didn't understand why he was there, but it just became something that, he came, put the flyers down. Chamber of Commerce allowed the Bay County Republican Party to put down flyers. So does that mean all parties get to put down flyers now at Bay County Chamber events? That's the question. Or are they going to publicly denounce that the Bay Republican Party did this and they should not have done it? That's the question. The thing is, they knew they shouldn't have done it. He even said it on his Facebook page. This is the craziness here in Bay County, just to get a little bit of information out. It's just, wow. All right. Recall election on Mark Shelton. This right here, it went quiet, right? The whole thing started. All of these people were going to work and get this recall election for Mark Shelton, and then it got quiet. If they actually got the votes or got the signatures, I'm not hearing about it. So I'm going to assume right now, because I've not seen anything on the Bay Supervisor of Elections website, and I haven't seen anything on Facebook, I'm going to assume that they failed trying to do a recall election on Mark Shelton. So there you go. Now, I will tell you, I asked the question last time, who are they going to get for the art for the beach? And I got to tell you, Jason Kressler, and they're definitely pulling from Panama City Arts, and I'm very happy, because Panama City Beach needs arts, and I'm very happy with the people that, at least with the head that they're putting on there, getting in there to help, because we need art on the beach. That's all there is to it. There needs to be much art on the beach. All right, so woohoo! Love our corruption in Bay County. So James Finch. All right, James Finch. Yeah, he took a letter at aim at the federal prosecutors as ignorant people here. A local business owner under federal indictment unloaded on prosecutors, the media, and the Facebook crowd on last Thursday. James Finch, the owner of Phoenix Construction, threw these verbal barbs after a report News 13 aired on Wednesday night about Finch purchasing former Lynn Haven Mayor Margo Anderson's home after they were indicted on corruption charges. On Thursday, Finch sent a lengthy letter to News 13. Read the letter. I have a hard time watching the ignorant people of this town, media and the Facebook crowd, downgrade my friend Margo Anderson, the best mayor the city of Lynn Haven has ever had, he wrote. Margo Anderson was the whistleblower who brought the crimes in Lynn Haven to the attention of enforcement. But that part of the story has been ignored by the media and by the prosecutors. She's the one that made the sheriff's department aware of the activities of the people who's been arrested and who have since pled guilty. He then offered a defense of his purchase of her home for $200,000, saying that Anderson could not afford to defend herself without his help, and that she wouldn't help his help without putting up her home as collateral. The court approved me helping Margo fund her case to the prosecutor's protestations, Finch wrote. He would have much rather had somebody who couldn't afford to defend herself. He also said investigators have some of the facts wrong about the case, including the time Anderson allegedly spent on Finch's boat and Finch's activities after Hurricane Michael when he was at the hospital. Finch continued by taking issue with money allegedly spent by federal prosecutors on a public relations firm, Sachs Media Group. Finch claimed the U.S. Attorney's Office spent $400,000 in violation of Department of Justice policies. Did you ever stop to consider why the prosecutors and FBI provide the media with so much information about these cases, he wrote. It's so they can convict the defendants in the court of public opinion before they ever reach the courthouse. Wow. All right, Sachs sent News 13 a statement. We are proud of the public information support we were privileged to provide to the vital mission of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Florida, including its work to prevent, pursue, prosecute, and punish public corruption of the kind alleged to have been so flagrantly widespread in Lynn Haven. Finch, the accused former city manager, Finch then accused former city manager Mike White, who has already pleaded guilty in the case, of having all the property of city employees, including law enforcement officers, cleaned after the hurricane at no charge. He added that while Anderson is accused of taking part of this activity, she did not. In a statement of this issue, current city manager Vicki Gaynor wrote, "The city will not engage or comment on any opinion." Of course you won't. You keep going. Like, why? Why would we even, why? You're being investigated by the FBI. And you keep saying that you're paying for Margo Anderson's defense. Now we know that you bought her house. Like, this is weird. Just the whole thing is just weird. I don't know what the truth is. I really don't. And if he's right, and he did that for all the employees in Lynn Haven, that's a whole nother ball game right there, because that shouldn't happen. So, all righty, that was Lynn Haven corruption. All right, Veterans Day is this Thursday. I want to thank you for every person who has served or who is still serving in the military. I am a daughter of a Navy veteran, and I understand the sacrifices that people in the military go through. I really, really understand. And I know that we need the military. I am 100% behind the military. And I know that Veterans Day is very important. So please thank a veteran on Veterans Day and make sure you take care of them all the time, because people in our military deserve lots of great support from their community. All right, so I want us to let's go look at some finances, and let's go look at some websites and see what is going on this week with people who have put in their candidacy. So let's go to the Bay County Supervisor of Election website, bayvotes.org, and I went to candidates and committees, and then I went to current candidates and finances. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to change my current reporting group, we are going to go here to the 2022 Municipal Super Tuesday, which is on 4/19/2022. So we have multiple people who have put in some paperwork now. So we've got Adrian Well, I guess. We've got over here, from Mexico Beach City Council Group 4. And you can always go in and look at the paperwork, which includes, what bank they're going to be using. It includes lots of things. We when you go into all of these. So we have somebody who has set themselves up for Mexico Beach in Ward 4. Group 4 for them. Springfield Mayor Ralph Hammond. Springfield's very interesting because every 2 years, Springfield has an election for their mayor because their mayor is also their city manager. So, and then Carl Curdy has put in his paperwork as well for Springfield mayor. Report we don't have any money or anything like that in these accounts as of yet. And lastly, we've got Jackie Kennington for Springfield, Commissioner Ward 3, and no money in there as well. So that is who we have so far. Have put in their paperwork to run here so far. We're going to be monitoring this because you never know who's going to do what. So let's go look at the next one. And let's go see who has put in their information with the state of Florida. So for United States Senator, we have quite a few here. Wow. Yes, look at all of these people running for United States Senator so far. And I'm looking at it, and it's interesting because this is Rubio's seat. Where's Rubio? Does he not? He has to do his paperwork. So no Marco Rubio paperwork. And I guess I'm missing. I thought Val Demings would have been here, but guess not. All right. Then we got over here. Let's go down to United States Rep. Matt Gaetz. We already talked about him. Yes. He does have, yes. Matt Gaetz, Rebecca Jones. There we go. Then we got Neil Dunn rerunning. We have 2 people, Mark Christopher Garrett. And so we can go to the federal campaign reports right there, which it does not want to go over there because of how, I can't go to that screen from here and share it with you guys. I would have to do more. So what we know right now, no party affiliation for this. And I don't see any money that is being spent or has been raised. So we've got that there. Aaron Rutherford, we're not seeing anything else there on the candidate tracking. So let's go on down. None of these are ours. Governor, here we go. Charlie Crist is running. DeSantis has put in his paperwork to rerun for governor. So that means this is awesome. We knew that was going to happen. Then we have a whole bunch of other people, right? Nikki Fried, David Freeman, Kyle Gibson. But it's kind of interesting. Oh, there is a Republican running against him. We have one Republican so far that's put in the paperwork against Ron DeSantis. So you go, John Joseph. Wow. All right. Then we can go down here and let's just start looking at state senator. Oh, George Gaynor put in his paperwork finally. So apparently he put this paperwork in afterwards. So nobody else has put in their paperwork for George Gaynor except George Gaynor for District 2. That's weird. All right. All right. State representative. Here we go. We've still got Brian Clotis and Griff Griffiths. And yes. When you actually get into Brian's campaign activity, I know that he's got to do the Octobers. So I know that is coming. So we haven't seen any of that. But back to what we talked about last time, I don't know why. he didn't pay Spring Hill Suites. That's a whole nother issue. So let's go. Let's see if Griffiths has spent any money yet. No, well, we don't have any new ones here for October, so we'll have to wait and see what happens when we get there. So nothing new, nothing that was shocking there. We got some new people though, which makes me really happy because that's a good thing to see and to have. So, looking at that, keeping up and knowing, who's going to be out there, who is trying to do things and run is amazing because knowing your candidates is super important. All right, upcoming events. There are so many events this weekend, food trucks and eating here and eating there and events. And we have so much holiday stuff coming up. So just keep watching, go to Facebook events, go out even on Eventbrite. There's so many things going on in our town that you can be involved in, including Veterans Day. And I want to remind everybody this Saturday is World Kindness Day. And there's going to be some things going on all over town for kindness. I know some people who are working on that. So just be on the lookout. So I thought I would share with us a kindness video because I truly believe that on Saturday we can all do our part. And I'm working on mine, and I know, and my company, and I know that you can work on yours because just one little thank you note, one little post-it note, whatever it is, will make a difference to somebody's day. So I am going to play an awesome video, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it and understand that this is, this kindness project for 2020. It really is something that kind of blew my mind when I watched it.
When I was a little girl, I boldly believed that I would change the world. And as I grew older, I realized how big of an order that was. I'm just a small girl. What could I do? And as I grew up, I realized it wasn't a lot of what I did, but it's who I was that made the difference. And when I started to be that person, it grew a light inside of me. And I discovered that others could have this light too. And when I showed them my light, they caught it too. And that got me wondering, if I ignite others, then we can go out there and make a difference. Not just as a light, but as a raging fire. And we don't have to go far to do it. And we don't have to do much or struggle as much as we think. All we have to do is look around us and spread the light where we walk. So as I turn 27 this year, the best gift I could get is knowing that I can change the world. And we don't have to cure cancer to do it. All we have to do is change our hearts and show it to others through kindness. And together, with our fire, we can change the world.
Are about to distribute some coins and some toys and just put them all throughout the park for kids to find. That's the best type of present. Scavenger hunt at the park. Let's go. Pennies face up. As always, if you're 5 or 95, it's always fun finding money. Always face up too. Best of luck. Oh, we actually just wanted to drop off some stuff for you guys because you guys have been working so hard. So we had just some coffee and just some cookies. So we just love to drop off for you guys just to say thank
She's done 27 acts of kindness today.
Yeah.
amabilidad es la idioma del alma.
Putting others before yourself.
Kindness is fun. Kindness is unconditional, beautiful,
Graceful.
Connecting with other people.
Kindness is making your community a little bit better than where you found it.
Kindness is the language that we all speak. Let's make kindness cool!
Wow. It is an amazing video. And every time I watch it, I tear up a little bit because there's little things that we can do that can make such a difference in people's lives. So World Kindness Day is Saturday. I hope you guys do something nice. Maybe pay for somebody's food in front of you in line. But remember, I want you guys to know one thing, that the patriarchy isn't going to smash itself. We have to do the right thing, and we have to be involved in our community and doing the things that we need to be doing.
The Speaker of the Florida House is apologizing tonight for repeatedly referring to pregnant women as host bodies.
As my video decided to go to the host body video, which is great because that was the Speaker of House in Florida, so that's really how they care about women. But that's a whole nother story. So I love my computer just keep going after the fact. So I hope you guys have a great week. I'll be back with you in a couple weeks, and we'll see what's going on here in Bay County and around the place. But in the meantime, I want you guys to remember that community, environment, and transparency are keys to success here. And I know that Bay County is amazing, and I want us all to be here working together to make Bay County the best place it possibly can be. And I'm here to help you guys do that. So, and elect more women and smash the patriarchy. And well, I say smash the patriarchy. We got to do some work, especially when most of the positions in our county have never had a woman in them. That's a problem. Status on women here in Bay County. Just watch out. Who knows what's going to happen. So I hope you guys have a good night. I really appreciate all the time that you spend here tonight with me or when you watch this. But Kindness Day this Saturday, go do something great. Bye.